Hello, everybody. I was just testing my mic.
Okay. Yeah, know your place, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Boxing 365. That's what Tom was trying to say. And this is our latest episode, and we're going to do something a little bit different because we've got lots of boxing we wanted to talk about. So please let us know whether you like the new setup and comment, like, subscribe if you're not already. Again, thank you to those of you that are subscribed. I think we're coming up on 1,300 subscribers.
Nearly at 2,000.
Thank you very much.
That's how I keep seeing it.
But yeah, today we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to talk about all of next weekend's boxing with a caveat. We're not going into just one card in this video. We're going to talk about several different fights over the weekend that interest us. It's something we think we're going to do going forward so that we haven't got to record four different videos covering a full card. Instead, we're just going to talk about the fights that we think you'll be interested in and that interest us. It could be the main events or it could be other stuff, whatever we think's interesting that's coming up. So, a bit of a quick rundown. Starting off, we're going to talk about Charlie Edwards and cannot say his name.
It's pronounced, I think.
It just looks like Nqothole, which makes me just.
I keep pronouncing it as Nqothole.
Right,
but I don't know if that is correct.
Much better. We're going to call him Sikho Nqothole.
Not
Don't think that's what it is.
Not Sikho Nqothole.
Yeah, probably not. Dmitry Bivol and Michael Eifert, I think is how you pronounce it.
You're really good at pronouncing.
I'm just saying.
I have to apologise. Dan's called.
I'm struggling.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Adam Azim, Steve Claggett, and Oshaki Foster, Raymond Ford.
Yes, plus a absolutely stacked shit ton of boxing over this upcoming weekend.
There is. It was tough to pick out what we're going to talk about, really.
It was. But I'll be honest, I think this will benefit. So I reached out to a few of our regulars. Only a very select few, just because I was talking to them at the time and just asked them their thoughts on this. They were all quite positive. The realism of it is, let's be honest, we see that people watch our videos for about 10 minutes, and it's okay, guys.
No, watch all the way through, please.
Yeah, but we know why. They get to like 3 fights down the card, and people just go, I don't know who that is anymore. I'm no longer interested. And you're not interested enough to keep them here. And me on my own, it's hard.
All right. Well,
we've gone really off topic.
You've gone off topic, as you ordinarily do. But we'll talk about the first one.
So, Friday.
Yeah, Friday the 29th of May. Misfits Pro.
It's not Misfits.
MF Pro.
Thank you. It's different.
On DAZN, an IBF World Title Final Eliminator. Super flyweight.
Yeah, Charlie Edwards looking to become a two-weight world champion. Obviously, former WBC flyweight world champion.
Yep.
Also challenged for the IBF world title down at flyweight as well. Previously to that, interesting fight. One that on paper people are expecting him to win, but I'm going to be honest. As I said before we turned on the camera, I've got my concerns. I think stylistically it's going to be really tough for Charlie. You've got someone in front of him who's obviously coming to change his life.
Yeah.
Has been in and around that world level for himself for the last few years. So it's not like it's a hand-picked opponent here. This is a genuinely tough fight to call. But the Edwards name in general carries weight, and I think that unfortunately means you're always going to have that pressure that you're going to be expected to perform. And yeah, it makes sense because Charlie needs to get himself in that position for a world title. I still don't know what Charlie's got left. We watched the Andrew Kane fight, and the Charlie Edwards of old, I think, would have approached that differently. He looks like he's scared to be hit. He looks like he's scared to engage. And unfortunately, against Nqothole, as it's pronounced, stylistically, that's all wrong. Because this guy's going to come forward. He's a good body puncher, volume, cuts off the ring nicely. And if he's able to succeed in doing that, he's going to win rounds. And if he's able to do that, he's going to make Charlie uncomfortable, unless something has changed, which from evidence of what we've seen, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, however you say his name, I'm not going to try it again.
Yeah.
He is a bit younger. He is only slightly younger, maybe a bit fresher. Perhaps he's not quite operated at as high of a level as Charlie Edwards has. He's got a few natural advantages as well, size-wise. He's a little bit bigger than him. Couple of decent fights on there. Previously a WBO global title at Superfly, so competing well. It's always tough, isn't it? Because it's like the pedigree of British fighters and the way we look at British fighters as British fight fans as well. So you put them on a bit of a pedestal because there's a lot of competition, and generally you've got to be at a decent level in Britain to get anywhere, and that always comes into my mind. But I'm same as you. I think we saw some uncertainties against Andrew Kane, and I think if there's any of that in this fight, it could be tough. I think I'd still give him the edge based on his skill and based on his experience, but I don't. Yeah, there's just a bit of nagging doubt that something's not quite right.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I'm always going to want Charlie to do well. I love both the Edwards brothers, and obviously, I'd love for Charlie to become a two-weight world champion, and I'd love even more for Sonny to come out and do it all over again. But when you've seen the damage and the fact that Charlie has been stopped now a couple of times, and yes, one was a no contest, but the realism of it is he was stopped in that fight. It was ruled a no contest, but he was stopped in the third round by Julio Cesar Martinez. It takes a toll. Charlie took a little bit of time out of the ring. I know he's found his love for it again, and he looks like he's really committed. He's training with Stephen Smith in Liverpool, same gym as Jack Catterall now, by the way. Jack Catterall's split with Bozy Ennis.
Mad.
So this is his, I think it was Roy said earlier, it's his third fight, third trainer, which never looks good, does it? But is what it is. So yeah, I'm really conflicted with this one. I don't want to be. But it's one of them fights, and it's a great fight. It's a 50-50 fight. The reason I'm conflicted is because it is close. But we're hypocrites, aren't we, fight fans?
Yeah.
Because I want my fighter to go into a fight that I'm going to go, yeah, he's going to win this. But then we'll go, fucking hell, another fucking easy touch.
Yeah.
They can't win. The realism of it is a cracking little fight. And
winner gets Willibaldo Garcia, who's obviously out. We just said 6th of June.
Andrew Maloney.
So that'll be a little way down the line, but interesting. And the fact that the belts at this weight probably going to be getting split.
Yeah. So obviously Bam holds 3 of them, but he has now confirmed he's stepping up. So as soon as he enters that ring in that step up for the WBA title against his next opponent, then belts will start to fragment, and we'll start to see interim champions upgraded, vacant belts becoming available to fight for. So there's huge opportunities down at them weights. Charlie is good enough to win a world title against the right opponent. I just don't know. If he's elite anymore.
And that's what we'll find out.
It is.
Yeah. Brilliant. Right, we'll move on though to our next fight, which is Bivol and Michael Eifert, however you want to say his name.
Eifert.
Eifert's probably right.
Eifert. Yeah.
Which is on the Saturday, not the Friday. DAZN, courtesy of Matchroom Boxing and RCC Promotions. As far as I can tell, it's for the WBA, IBO, IBF, and ring belts. It's not for
WBO.
the WBO because they wouldn't sanction it, but he's still the champion. Still recognised as the champion.
He will still be the champion. He will still defend the belt in his next fight if he wins, and this will be classed as a defense still, but they're not willing to go out to Russia due to the conflict in Ukraine at the minute and sanction the fight. I always think it's tough because you're punishing Dmitry Bivol, who he's not. On one hand, you look at it and go, it's not his fault. Like, he's not the one out there making the mess. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's the one taking the punishment. But then on the other hand, I think fair play to the WBO who's gone, well,
actually,
take a
stance on stuff.
Yeah, and fair play to them because they've made a stance a couple of times with this sort of thing. I think they did the same thing with Beterbiev when he was talking about fighting out there, and Fair play, fair
Yep.
play.
Fair play, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But
So
I'm looking forward to seeing Bivol back out. He's very watchable, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah. I think that I don't know if it's like widely supported but or agreed, but I think his style of fighting is very watchable.
I think he's amazing to watch, and I think from a boxing purist point of view, he's brilliant. His footwork, he's in and out of range,
Mm,
and he's one of them where a bit like an Inoue, a bit like a Bam Rodriguez, that elite sort of tactician, where they're always just out of range, and there's something
mm,
so beautiful about how well measured their game plans are coming into fights, and they're not the sort of fighter that's heavily reliant on an amazing corner. They're so their adaptability in the ring.
mm,
You see Bivol and the way in like Usyk as another, just the way they process the fight as it goes,
yeah,
just absolutely, it's artwork, absolute artwork.
it is.
But isn't it crazy that Dmitry Bivol is 35 now?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think when you look at the fighting he has done, the wins he's picked up, very impressive. Obviously, goes without saying, but he can still do more. And I think there's still names that he could beat that would really make you like, wow. I mean, you can't say he hasn't because he's already beat Canelo and Beterbiev.
Yep,
What more do you want? But
yep,
if he's staying active and if he's gonna remain a champion, I want to see him fight. I mean, if Benavidez comes back down, that's a cracker. If Bivol decides he's going any higher, not Zerdo, Opataya later down the line would be great. But obviously, that's all Zuffa messed up. But
yeah,
I think, like I say, I think his style will have the better of most people. I actually did think when he fought Beterbiev the first time that Beterbiev won marginally,
yep,
but I thought the second one, even though it was called close, for me was much more obvious.
yeah, yeah. I'd
Um,
agree with that.
but yeah, love his style, light on his feet. That Soviet style, I just think he's great.
Fundamentally flawless, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he is. I mean,
Should we talk about his opponent?
yeah, we should.
Give some respect to our Mike.
Yeah, Michael Eifert. Um, he was out for a while, out the ring for a while.
He's been waiting for this mandatory, hasn't he? With the look of
Yeah,
things, he's been waiting for
yeah,
the mandatory to be called. Um, Unfortunately, I think is it nearly 2 years now.
yeah. I think it was August 2024 that he fought.
So, I mean, it's
So yeah, long
long.
time out.
Yeah,
Um, from what I've seen, and from what I can remember, he's quite precise. He's all round. He's pretty good, but I would say you can see what his main weapons are. He likes his jab, and he likes his 1-2 and move away. He can still put his hands together, but that seems to be, especially I think it was Jean Pascal that he fought,
yeah,
where that was quite obvious that that was what he stuck to. Just had the beating of him, landed better shots,
yeah,
and that was that. He's also pretty light on his feet, pretty springy, which is probably going to make for quite a good contest.
yeah.
Um, but he seems like he likes to come forward more, so that's what he would choose to do. But pretty comfortable going back as well, and I'm interested.
It's an intriguing fight because obviously it's the mandatory. So he's defending his IBF mandatory. Eifert, Mickey, we'll call him, put himself in this position. He's in a good position. Massive fights at weights. You go and beat a Bivol. You go from being a world ranked contender to a superstar overnight.
Yeah,
Like you immediately put yourself in contention for huge fights. I worry it might be a bit boring for the casual fans.
potentially.
We've seen it before with Bivol when he's fought these sort of fighters where they rely on the solid fundamentals. We saw it with Lyndon Arthur.
It
The
was
fight never quite got going because
yeah,
Lyndon, again, don't get me wrong, Lyndon does throw in combinations, but generally speaking, his most thrown shot is that phenomenal
yeah.
jab of
Gets
his,
behind his jab, yeah.
and nothing wrong with that because it's his best weapon. But that does then mean, unfortunately, Bivol, who's a chess player as far as boxing goes, he is going to break you down slowly. He's not going to stand in the pocket and trade unnecessarily. So you might see a little bit of that. You're probably going to see a very, very slow few rounds. Will Bivol want to go through the gears? It depends.
You
It
think?
depends on what's in front of you, doesn't it? I mean, we saw it against Malik
Yeah,
Zinad.
yeah.
Again, I know there's a level
That was a
difference,
huge difference there, wasn't there?
but Bivol came out and sort of put his hands together, worked the body very well off memory.
Yeah, I
And
think there was times even in the Better Beer fight where when he was getting pressed a little bit too close for comfort, he will put his hands together, but he's always on the move, so
yeah,
he never really gets stuck in a tear up with anybody.
no,
It tends to all be he's like a robot, isn't he? It's pretty much all the way he wants.
I think someone called him when he was going to fight Canelo. I think I can't remember who it was, but we spoke about it because obviously everyone at the time was going, "Oh, this is just another win for Canelo,"
Yeah.
and we said like, "This guy's like the Terminator. Like
Mm.
he's just so precise, he's
Yeah.
so
Just
organised."
unfazed by
And
everything.
we saw, to be fair, we saw against Canelo. Appreciate the smaller man, but putting his hands together, letting shots go, pushing Canelo back against the rope. So he's got that in his locker.
Mm.
But again, it's stylistic.
Mm.
Bivol, as a tactician, will fight what's in front of him. He'll control the rhythm. I think. I think he'll be able to dictate the pace quite easily against someone like Eifert, who's
Yeah.
not going to be throwing 4 or 5 punch combinations. But yeah, it's one of them. What next for Bivol? I'd love to see him compete at another weight class.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he probably finds himself comfortable at light heavy and probably thinks it's not going to be in his interest to move elsewhere. But that depends. Obviously, I'm not in his camp, so I don't know. He
Do you?
might prefer to move up in a year or so. I think he's probably waiting on something big still at light heavy. If that's his preferred weight, that's his ideal
Yeah.
division, then he's probably going to wait for something else.
I don't think he's got the frame for cruiser.
I don't think so.
I think if you put him at cruiserweight, I mean, I know we for anyone who's watching that's going to give us stick now, but I know we said a similar thing about Benavidez, but
Mm,
Bivol's very lean anyway.
mm,
Benavidez has always been a little bit fleshy,
mm,
so it's a different
yeah,
frame set. But I worry that if Bivol went up to that cruiserweight, then he's not the particularly most powerful puncher anyway. You're going to see that. For me, if anything, what I would like, I'd love him to step down to super middle and try and pick up a title.
it's
It's
hard going backwards, isn't it? That's
we're,
the thing. But
again, we're awkward, aren't we, fight fans?
mm,
We want everything. We had a conversation not so long ago about what happened to the good old days when a fighter just had their weight class and
yeah,
just won and
yeah,
defended titles. And now I'm sat here saying, well, could he just maybe be a two-weight world champion?
yeah,
The realism of it is, he is right now, without a shadow of a doubt, the number one light heavyweight on the planet.
mm, yeah.
Would you agree?
Whilst Benavidez was technically a cruiser, yeah. I wonder whether we knew he was good. I didn't think he would suit cruiser. I just thought Zerdo would be too big. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, I still think Bivol's got the beating of anyone at light heavy at the minute.
Benavidez comes back down
Mm.
to defend that WBC title. Undisputed clash. Bivol, Benavidez, Benavidez, Bivol, right? Before we move on to the next fight, who wins? Fantasy fight, who wins?
So tough to say. I really wouldn't know there because the
I think
way
we
Benavidez put his hands together and put his hands on Zerdo,
yeah.
I didn't know. I knew that Zerdo would be hittable. I thought he would outsize him a bit. Coming back down to light heavy, if he can find him, if he can keep Bivol somewhere where he can hit him, I think he'd blow him away. But I don't think he can keep him. I don't think he could keep him there because Bivol's too good for that, and he controls everything. It was like when he fought Canelo. I don't know. That
I
would be an unbelievable fight.
I would have said Bivol pre-Zerdo,
Mm.
and I'm probably gonna get stick for saying this now, but I think I'd lean to Benavidez. I
His
think I
hand
would.
speed's unreal, isn't it?
His hand speed's unreal. He showed. I think he showed another level. I think he showed huge improvements against Zerdo.
Mm.
Um, Bivol has proven even against Beterbiev, yes, he's able to be just out of range and he's able to get out. He's able to exit. He's able to exchange and move. But Beterbiev is a volume puncher, but he's a slow volume puncher.
Mm.
I just think we've seen it before when people try and step and exit out of range against Benavidez, and as they exit right, they get caught with a massive left hook.
Mm.
I just think I don't know. I'd probably edge Benavidez, but that fight hasn't been made for
No,
now.
no.
Bivol has got to deal with the German,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Eifert.
Again, we'll. I think we said before we'll probably make a video on Benavidez separately. But...
Yeah,
Right, we'll move on. Adam Azim, Steve Claggett, 30th of May as well. BBC, obviously. Adam Azim is a boxer for some reason.
that's that. is corporate slander. I won't be having it.
All right, okay.
Boxer are the market leader in promoters.
12 rounds, super lightweight. Obviously, we know what we get with Adam Azim. Good run of form. Fighting against, how would you call them, fringe world level fighters? I mean,
Steve Claggett is tough.
but he's probably moving towards retirement more than anything, isn't he?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So what I mean is, it's not a game contender.
No. Well, the thing is, it doesn't even do him much from a favour point of view in regards to the rankings.
No.
Now, Azim's best opportunity for a world title fight as it stands is the IBF.
Yeah.
Which is obviously, this is an IBF eliminator. It's not a final eliminator, but it is an IBF. It is. I think it's part of that IBF elimination process. Yeah. But again, you look at the people above him. You've got Richardson Hitchens, who's vacated. Below that, you've got Didolfo Garcia.
Right.
You've got Keyshawn Davis,
Mm.
Oscar Duarte. And the realism of it is, Keyshawn's with Top Rank. Boxer and Top Rank, you're just not going to do a co-promotion on the BBC.
No.
So unless Boxer are willing to let their fighter go and fight elsewhere, which notoriously they're not very good at doing, that opportunity is not there. Yep. Oscar Duarte, Golden Boy, same problem.
Yeah.
You just at that point where you're thinking you're gonna have to let him not by all means keep him with Boxer. I don't have an issue with him being with Boxer, but you're gonna have to let him cross over and fight somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because the BBC are not going to pay you anywhere near enough to attract one of them big names to the UK.
Yeah.
To be able to bankroll that type of fight. And no disrespect to Adam Azim. Adam Azim, Keyshawn Davis is a massive fight. It doesn't fill a stadium. I don't think it even fills the O2. I think the realism of it is, I think that commercially, them fights aren't there. They need the backing of a broadcaster, and they've not got it.
I think that's why it feels like Adam Azim was going like this, and now he's just gone, just flatlined.
I think since O'Hara Davis, I don't think we've seen any real level of improvement. You've got O'Hara Davis.
Has he fought Lipnitz since
yeah,
that?
so Lipnitz.
And he fought Kurt Scobie. They're a little bump up from
I'd say Kurt Scobie is probably a step backwards. I'd say Claggett and Lipnitz have both competed at that sort of world level-ish. Both fell short, but have been there. Scobie was a big puncher on paper, but I could be a big puncher from fighting 3-year-olds. You know what I mean? It's one of them. You wrote, and I can't remember what you wrote, but you wrote something, and it was bang on the money. And I can't quote it because I can't remember what it says, but it was really good, and I want you to say it for everyone.
What did I write?
Something about at what point does he stop fighting chat like Summit?
When do we stop testing and start challenging?
That's it. I loved that. Loved that.
It does feel like, that's what I was saying. It does feel like there's not a lot in it for him.
Yeah.
More like a test or a keep him warm or something, but still not going forward. And I don't think that's an Azim problem. I don't think it's the corner. I don't think he's ready. I think it's exactly what you said. I think it's probably a promotional problem.
I
they
think
can't get the fight they want.
Yeah.
Which is an absolute shame, because as much as it does scare me a bit, I want Adam Azim to be fighting Dalton Smith at some point.
100%.
That's going to be tough to do at the minute.
It won't happen at the minute for as long as he's with Boxer.
He needs a title as well. That It sounds ridiculous, but I think that what is a big fight for British boxing fans would become a mega fight for world boxing if they both had a belt, or even if Dalton's managed to pick up another belt.
I think it needs to be the point, and I appreciate there's always that risk of waiting too long, but that fight needs to be at that point, doesn't it, where you've got a couple of belts. It's a unification. It's to decide who is the king of that super lightweight division.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is, at the minute, Dalton fighting Adam Azim does absolutely nothing for Dalton Smith.
No.
And that's no discredit to Adam. Adam's obviously he's only 24.
Yeah.
He's had some injuries. He's trying to find some activity. But let's get back to this, because we're talking about the future. Let's talk about what's in front of him. Realistically speaking, Steve Claggett, decent, fought some good opponents over the years, shared the ring with Teofimo Lopez.
Been around forever. Pro
Forever.
since 2008.
So a couple of years, what's he, 6 years in?
He fought in March already.
Yeah.
So that's not long ago.
No.
But before that, it was October 2024. So he's had a long time out.
But
And again, I think it just comes down to where he's at in his career.
Mhm.
So
This is one of them paydays where, no disrespect to Steve Claggett, but I can't imagine he's looking at this as, I'm going to reignite my career here. I think this is I'm being paid X amount.
approached by Boxer.
Yep.
As a winnable fight for Adam Azim.
Yep.
With a respectable name.
Yeah.
Past it a little bit now, obviously, because of his age and whatever. For probably a good payday for him. Good by his standards.
Yep.
And no real damage to his career when he loses.
No, he's got 8 losses on the record already. He's got a couple of draws, I think, as well. I just, like you say, for me, the way I see this fight going is Steve Claggett is going to be durable, be a little bit reckless. He's going to, as he starts to slow, we're going to start to see that his exit becomes non-existent. And he's going to get caught with a check left up from Adam Azim, which is one of his sort of key weapons. And that's probably going to be all she wrote. I expect Adam Azim to stop him within
Do you think
8.
Do you think we've seen enough of a test of Adam Azim's defensiveness yet? I don't feel like we've really seen anybody challenge him that way yet.
Well, he's
Pretty
not.
much got it all his own way. Most fights he's had, he's a bit of a bully. He's fast.
Yeah.
No, this isn't any. I think it's credit to him anyway.
Yeah.
For his ability to not really have to think about defending too much because he's so powerful, so quick. Shots come from everywhere. All that stuff. Good with his feet, but he's not really been tested in that respect yet. And there was a couple of times it got a bit messy with Scobie, and he probably got landed on a couple of shots he didn't really need to.
Mm-hmm.
We only really see one side to him at the minute, don't we? In my opinion. Other people might see it differently. Feel free to let me know. I feel like he's at the minute he's so good offensively, not really got to think about his defense.
I know we said it before. It's that sort of Moses Atauma effect, isn't it? That you need to know, because it's important. You need to know what that fighter's got in the tank when things get hard.
Yeah.
When water gets deep, when someone in front of you doesn't immediately go, he's quicker than me, he punches harder, he's younger, he's faster. All of them sort of things. And at the minute, he's been matched well. He's beat a few decent names that, to be fair, Boxer and Adam probably expected a little bit more test from. But he's not been in with a dangerous opponent yet. No. None of his opponents I look at on paper and go,
all the active contenders, I'm not saying that his fighters have come in there to lose, nothing like that. But they've been match made in a way, haven't they?
Yeah, I didn't mind. I actually didn't mind the Gustavo Lemos fight. Now, is it a incredible fight? No. But Gustavo Lemos is a proud man. He hits hard. He comes forward, and I can guarantee you, he will go in there and he will test the resolve of someone like a young Adam Azim. He is the type of fighter that we look at when we see them young fighters take them steps up, where we go, this is probably a bit too, this might be too early. This is one of them where it's sink or swim. You rarely see that step. We're going to see it possibly next with Atauma against Hrgovic. It's that first step.
Yeah.
But it happens. And Adam Azim, like when Amir Khan came through, to sort of give that similarity, rapid hands, amazing, stopping everyone, just absolutely working his way through the division. And then you might not have heard that. But then you hit someone who's dangerous, unpredictable. You might not be able to get the footage to build that game plan. And then all of a sudden, the whole of that trajectory changes. And that, for me, is what we need to see with Adam Azim. And I'm not saying he needs to get beat, but he needs someone in front of him who's going to give him something. And Claggett's going to be a heavy bag.
Feels that way, doesn't it? Feels that way.
Sorry.
Still, I am looking forward to it because I like to watch Adam Azim. He's very watchable.
No, I mean this will be, out of the 3 fights we spoke about so far, this will be the most entertaining. Because Claggett's tough.
Yeah.
Claggett's very tough, so he will stand in front of him and he won't be scared to engage. And Adam Azim's fast. He's a good-looking lad. He draws a decent crowd still. Is he a big name yet? No, which is criminal
Mm.
because he should be fucking superstar.
Mm.
Look at Hamza Shiraz.
Think Shiraz is a superstar?
He's getting that way.
He is getting that
He's
way.
getting that way, and he will be.
Right. We should move on. We should
Yeah.
move on to our
Fuck
last one
Adam
that we're going to
Azim.
talk about
Idiot.
fully. You're going to shut the fuck up when I'm talking. O'Shaquie Foster, Ray Ford. Also the 30th of May. Also DAZN. Also courtesy of Matchroom Boxing, as was
Bivol.
Bivol.
Good news for British fight fans, though, because even though it is the 30th of May, it's in America, which means that it isn't going to clash with any of the other two on Saturday or the one on Friday. So you can watch this at about 4 a.m.
Or maybe wake up and watch it. WBC Super Featherweight title.
Ray
Yeah.
Ford looking to become a two-weight world champion.
Mm.
Obviously lost his belt against Mr. Nqothole a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
I've done my usual trick. I've overlooked O'Shaquie Foster. I say I've overlooked. I haven't.
I think that's the wrong. We talked about O'Shaquie Foster when he was going into his fight with Stephen Fulton, and I remember you saying then we sort of went, Stephen Fulton's very good, and you went, yeah, we don't want to overlook O'Shaquie Foster though, and we sort of did anyway. And so I'm going to learn from that mistake and say he's kind of proven a couple of times not to be overlooked. Obviously, he had a couple of losses in his early career, and then more recently, Robson Conceição, we went back and then beat, Stephen Fulton after that. So, and he's, it's only 6 months since his last outing. So,
I have a question, but before my question, I have to sort of explain my mindset here. So, I said on one of our very, 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 very first episodes, if anyone wants to check it out, go all the way back. You won't be very impressed. I mean, you might not be very impressed now, but go back. And I said that I think Ray Ford's special. And I think from an ability point of view, I still think he's special. I really do. And I think he's an exceptional, still young, an exceptional young talent. So that's kind of part of me that's going, maybe this is where we see that special that I'm expecting. Because this, beating O'Shaquie Foster, plus the names that are already on the record of Ray Ford, this just, for me, excels him. This puts him at that status of, right, another big win at that weight class. You're then sort of starting to creep into that top 20, top 15 pound for pound conversation. Which O'Shaquie Foster does if he beats Ray Ford, by the way, because this at that point then just he's beating everyone in and around them weight classes. Apart from one, which we'll talk about in a second. My question is, who do you think has got the better resume?
it is tough. It is tough. I think I would lean towards O'Shaquie Foster, to be honest.
So would I.
Think beating Stephen Fulton last time out, I know that was all a bit of a mess when it came round, but still, the revenge over Robson Conceição, wins over Ray Vargas, etc. I think he's probably got an edge.
Conceição as well. People always forget, but he's an Olympic medalist.
Yeah.
So it's not like, people go, oh, who's Robson Conceição? He's an Olympic medalist. He went the distance with Sikho, put a decent account of himself. He's not, he's not a bum, is he?
No, not all. Obviously, Ray Ford's probably would you say his best win is Abraham Nova or
either Abraham Nova or Kolmatov.
Yeah.
The Kolmatov one was because everyone was avoiding him. Kolmatov was this big monster that no one wanted to fight, and obviously Ford went in there, did the business, and stopped him. But again, that's one of them fights where now you look at it and go, well, Kolmatov wasn't as big and scary as everyone thought. It's part and package. Nova is a mutual opponent for both guys. They've both fought him. I think both did a similar job. Neither of them lit the world up because Nova's a good fighter.
Yeah.
But you look at Ray's, he's not got the names, but he's got Nova, as has O'Shaquie Foster. He fought Thomas Matisse, who I think's a great little fighter. So I'd probably say that Nova is probably the best name when you consider that Nova has beaten good names and lost to elite names, so we know where he's at.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think we ever will probably know where Kolmatov was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Does that make some sense?
Yeah.
But it's one of them fights again where I'm conflicted because if you ask me 1 round in, I'll tell you who's gonna win the fight. And
Yeah.
I'd be confident to pick a winner after the first 3 minutes. Because Foster's gonna wanna go in there and control the pace. Doesn't fight at a quick pace, never has done. His output's not massive. But if he can control that pace and he can slow everything down and fight at that pace, I don't think Ray Ford will break it at that point. I think at that point then, O'Shaquie Foster is so good when he's controlling the pace.
Mm.
He will not let Ray Ford back into the fight unless something dramatic happens. At that point then, brilliant. Ray will get slower, it'll become easier for Shaq to work behind his jab and keep it as he wants it. But Ray Ford is one of the best fighters at getting close,
Mm.
at making it his fight, up in that tempo, making it uncomfortable for someone like O'Shaquie Foster who doesn't want to stand and engage in a 8 punch combo out, shot out. Wow, my brain.
Shootout.
Shootout. But I am biased
Mm.
because I really like Ray Ford.
Yeah, I like Ray Ford as well, but again, I think based on current, I suppose you'd call it current form, and yeah, I would favour O'Shaquie Foster, but again, I think this is probably the toughest one to call, um, for me of the ones we've discussed.
I would
Um,
say so, yeah.
mm, a little bit shortly followed by the Charlie Edwards one. I'm not 100% sold on that, but I think this one's the most competitive
Yeah.
world level fight that we're going to see.
Are they, and I know we say this before, and before we move on quickly, there's 2 questions actually. Are they each other's toughest fight to date?
Definitely Ray Ford's toughest fight.
Yeah. It's hard to overlook someone like Ray Vargas, isn't it?
Oh, is it definitely Ray Ford's toughest fight though? Because he fought Nick Ball.
Oh, yeah. Who wins in a fight if Nick Ball comes up super feather? Who would you favour, Nick Ball or Shaquie Foster?
We don't know how well he'll do going up,
Nope.
Nick Ball. We saw that with Figueroa.
Yeah.
He was naturally stronger than him, hit
Yeah.
harder than him. The range actually did make a difference for once.
Yeah.
Not sure. I'm not trying to shit on Nick Ball just because he's lost his last fight, but like you were saying about O'Shaquie Foster, he generally is pretty good at fighting his fight, making it his pace, keeping it his range and everything. So that'd be a really interesting fight. I think it would be a good opportunity for Nick Ball to be a two-weight world champion, but equally, O'Shaquie Foster could quite easily make that his own fight and just make it look fairly boring and easy.
Shaq the problem is that he seems, and we've said it a million times, on paper, he looks
Beatable.
beatable. You
Mm.
look at him, like Carlos Adames, you look at him and go,
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
it's a winnable fight.
Mm.
It's a winnable fight, that. I'd put my guy in with him.
Mm.
And then you actually really start to watch him. When you watch, he's just so good at breaking up someone else's game plan. You
Yeah.
go in there going, he's slow, he's inactive, he's going to just want to throw an occasional 1-2.
Mm.
I'll work him out. And you don't. And
Mm.
you end up looking a bit of an idiot, and it always becomes a close fight.
Mm.
And he's so good at it. A bit like Badu Jack, another example.
Yeah. Right. We're not going to talk about next fights or anything like that anymore. We'll talk about the other fights that we're not going into a lot of detail on. Obviously, there's loads this weekend that we could talk about, but we haven't got the time. We've talked about the ones that we think are most interesting. We've got Amanda Serrano, Cheyenne Hansen,
Good fight.
which is a good fight. We've got Yocosta Val and Lourdes Juarez, and that's also on the same card. There's a couple of really good fights on
Costaval's
that
good. I
card.
enjoy Costaval. She's a good
Yeah,
watch, she is, if anyone's.
there's a couple of others. It's
There's loads,
left my
mate.
mind now, but there are lots
Ham.
of
Ham.
Ham.
There's a woman with a
You mean
name.
Stephanie Han.
Stephanie Han.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's fighting as well.
she's
Yeah.
fighting, yeah.
And is it Holly Holm as well fighting?
There's
Is that
so
have I
many.
made that up?
So many.
There's so many good fights on that card.
Stephanie Home.
No, Stephanie Han
Stephanie Han.
and I think Holly Holm.
Oh, yeah.
I could be wrong.
You might be wrong.
Amari Jones is fighting Alan Sanchez. Zaki and Moses is fighting Travis Crawford. Fran Hennessy is fighting Aurora de Percio. Which card is that on?
That's
Actually?
on the Azim
Yeah,
card.
I think so. Yeah.
That's another fighter, by the way. At what point does she stop? No disrespect to her opponent, but come on.
It's coming.
It's a fight she
but
should.
it's where you are. I think promotion issues probably.
When that contract's up, you know where she's going, don't you?
Probably, yeah.
MVP.
Joel Kadua and Will Harrison. Obviously, Joel Kadura had a decent win out
Great little
last
fight, that.
time.
Yeah, great little fight, that. 2 unbeaten fighters for the English title.
Yeah, Kevin Lorena and Riyad Murray. And then I had to mention James Ozzy Osborne fighting Ollie Cooper also on the
Boxer
Boxer card.
which, again, another cracking fight. Brilliant opportunity for James Osborne, who
won the heist.
he did.
Yeah.
Was he former area champion at the time?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Can't quite remember.
It's an incredible selection of boxing. So
Yeah,
wherever
loads
you
of
want to
boxing.
watch, turn it on, give it a watch, and you'll be away.
Right, we're creeping into 40 minutes, so if you are still around, thank you very much. We are going to go through Tom's picks for the winners, and you got to make it
Fairly
quick.
Yeah, I'm just going to go impulse here.
Edwards and Nqothole.
I am backing Charlie. He's our boy. Big up Charlie Edwards.
Nice one. Bivol and Eifert.
It's got to be Bivol, hasn't it? I just don't see any reason he'd be starting to decline.
Yeah. Azim and Claggett.
Adam Azim.
Agreed. And then the last one, Oshaki Foster, Ray Ford.
Sorry. I will learn. I will learn not to pick against Foster, because I'm his biggest advocate for people picking against him, but I always pick against him. But that's because I love Ray Ford.
Okay.
So I'm going Ray Ford.
Fair play. Next, then, fight of the night. What do you think is going to be the most entertaining? I think it will be.
It's not.
If we're talking about.
Wait, it's not fight of the night anymore, though, is it?
Well, sorry, fight of the weekend. If you're talking about a purist enjoying the boxing, just take your pick, really, because I think Bivol or Adam Azim is going to be the most enjoyable, just because I want to see Adam Azim and I like Bivol's style. So either of those, but as a competitive clash, closest fight for me, I think will be Foster and Ford.
I think that's the fight for me. Yeah. If you said to me you'd like to watch one fight this weekend, even including all the undercards and everything, that's for me. Closely followed by, if you're letting me pick any, because I think it'll be a bang, is the Osborne Cooper. I think Osborne Cooper English title. I think scrap that.
Yeah,
is that a super middle title? I think it is, isn't it?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I have realised we can't actually really do a card rating anymore.
Nope.
So we'll have to think about that going forward. We might have to do a rate the weekends boxing.
Yeah, I mean, we can rate the cards individually. It's just I think we pull that.
Yeah, we'll might have to pull that. Let us know if you want us to keep doing ratings. Then let us know. But we might drop that out or come up with something new.
Yeah. Like who can eat the most Play-Doh in 50 minutes?
I think you'd have that down.
I think
I'm not gonna lie.
I've already eaten a lot.
Yeah. The last thing is to see what ChatGPT's got. So
I have them. I know them. I sorted it.
Off you go.
Would you want to talk me through it?
Oh, well, I thought you were going to do it.
All right. Okay, it has Charlie Edwards by unanimous decision.
Yep.
Which I think makes a lot of sense. It has Bivol stoppage. Okay. Shocked me a little bit, that one. Bivol's not a notorious.
He's not a stopper, is he? But
he's not a stopper, but, ChatGPT says so. So,
right then.
One of them things. Adam Azim, late stoppage, which I can see that. And Stephen Fulton, late stoppage or wide scorecard.
Stephen Fulton, really? That's crazy. He's not fighting.
Oshaki Foster, sorry.
Oshaki Foster, sorry, what did you say?
Late stoppage or wide scorecard.
Fair enough.
I don't see Ray Ford being stopped. However, it's a very, very close fight. And that could be one of them where it could be a draw. It could be wide either way.
Yeah.
It's one of them fights that for me is so intriguing. Really excited for it.
Right, that does bring us to the end of the video. Again, it's new, a little bit longer than we used to. Let us know what you think. If you want to go to what we did before, we're down for doing that. But let us know in the comments or whatever it may, drop us a message. Failing that, we're probably going to stick to this going forward. So thank you very much for watching. If you're still here, if you're not subscribed, make sure to like the video, comment as well, and we'll see you on the next one.